Here on the Dungeon Crashers, some of our best builds have been social and intrigue characters. Stick around and we will show you how to get the most out of your social skills as a Silverquill student.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another captivating episode of
The Dungeon Crashers.
I'm Guy.
And I'm Zapil. If you like what you see and what we do here, hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell if you want to be notified when we post our exciting D&D content. You need to like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And let's get into it. This week we are going to be sticking with the Strixhaven theme, and we will be making a Silverquill student. In the Silverquill College, they focus on language, literature, and the power of words, both magical and otherwise. Most Silverquill students are bards, wizards, and warlocks, with a few clerics, paladins, and rogues mixed in. For the race, we went with the Satyr. We are using the Monsters of the Multiverse version, and they get 3+1 ability boosts that you can put on any ability, but no more than 2 on one ability. They have a walking speed of 35 feet, and their creature type is Fey. They have magic resistance, giving them advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. They have the ability Ram. You can use your head and horns to make unarmed strikes. If you hit with them, you deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d4 plus your strength modifier. Next is Mirthful Leaps. Whenever you make a long or high jump, you can roll a d8 and add the number to the number of feet you cover, even when making a standing jump. This extra distance costs movement as normal. The last ability we get is the Reveler. You have proficiency with performance and persuasion skills, and you have proficiency with one musical instrument of your choice, and you get the languages Common and Sylvan. For ability scores, we'll be using the point buy system. To start, we put a 15 on strength, making it 16 with a +1 from our racial bonus. Put a 10 on dexterity, since we'll be wearing the heaviest armor we can get our hands on. A 14 on constitution. An 8 on intelligence. We needed a dump stat, and it is this one. You might think this would be bad for your academic career, but there are rules for cheating, and you are very good at it. And you will also be excellent at sucking up to your professors. A 10 on wisdom, and a 14 on charisma, making it 16 with our last +2 racial bonus. This will be our casting stat, and since we'll be getting all the charisma skills, it's best to make it as high as possible.
Now each college has a background associated with them, and when making character you can choose one of these as your background. The backgrounds are a little strange in that they give you abilities as if you were a member of a particular college. However, in the game, you start at your first day of school and don't even join a particular college until later in the adventure. In our campaign, we interpret these backgrounds to be the skills and abilities that you had that got attention of the university and why you were chosen as a student, rather than things you learned at the school. The background we are taking is called, simply enough, the Silverquill student background. It has a number of features that common backgrounds don't have, as well as the things you would expect. For the background, you guessed it, we are taking the Silverquill student background. There are two philosophies in Silverquill College, Radiance and Shadow. Those who follow Radiance use language to enlighten and educate. Those who follow Shadow use language to manipulate and control. This build is going to take a little bit from both. We get two skills, Intimidation and Persuasion. Since we already get Persuasion from Satyr, let's change that Persuasion to Deception. Now we have all the Charisma skill covered, and you can see why we wanted Charisma as high as possible. The background adds spells to all of our class lists at certain levels, and we'll talk about those if we take them. We also get the Strixhaven Initiate feat, and under Silverquill, we can take two cantrips, Sacred Flame and Vicious Mockery. We could take Thaumaturgy instead, but why? We really don't need it.
Yeah.
And one first-level spell from the Bard or Cleric list. We want Guiding Bolt. It has great range at 120 feet, deals 46 radiant damage, and it gives the next attack on the target advantage. You can cast the spell without expending a spell slot, and must finish a long rest before you can cast it this way again. You can cast it using a first level spell slot, but since we are starting at first level as a paladin, we don't have any first level spell slots yet. And that brings us to level 1. At first level paladin, we get two skills from the paladin list, and we want athletics and insight. We get the ability Divine Sense. As an action, until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. Within the same radius, you also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell. We also get Lay on Hands, which gives a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to 5 times your paladin level. As an action, you can touch a creature and draw power from the pool to restore a number of hit points to that creature, up to the maximum amount remaining in your pool. Alternatively, you could spend 5 hit points from your pool of healing to cure the target of one disease or neutralize one poison affecting it. You can cure multiple diseases and neutralize poisons with a single use of Lay on Hands, expending hit points separately for each one. This feature has no effect on undead or constructs. Our starting equipment will be a war pick, just because we want to do something different, and it is a D8 piercing damage, which will come into play later. Let's take the heaviest armor we can get. This might be a little difficult, since when you're at school, wearing a suit of plate might be a bit much. We'll take a shield for now, but that will change in a few levels. We also need a backpack for all of our books, school supplies, and gear. Now, during school, we won't likely be walking around with a sword and armor. Students frequently carry a dagger, staff, or rod, but otherwise are frequently unarmed, so you'll be fighting with a dagger a lot when encounters happen. Now that we have entered the college, we can take some extracurricular activities. They can range from the Dragon Chess Club to the Intramural Water Dancing Club. You get a student dice for each extracurricular activity you take, no more than 2. The student dice is a D4, and you can add it to an ability check that the character makes, provided the check uses one of the skills listed with the extracurricular activity. We will be taking 2 extracurricular activities, the Intramural Silk Ball Club. The skills it uses are athletics and intimidation. You will be aiming to be the captain of the team with your high strength and charisma skills. The second activity we'll take is the Strixhaven Star, a newspaper that's published by the students for the students. The 2 skills it uses is investigation and insight. Now, we have terrible investigation and a low insight score, but for the paper we'll be doing a trashy gossip column about the latest breakups in the school.
Yeah.
And plus, having that D4 for insight and investigation will really help us out with our bad rolls.
At second level, we take second level of Paladin. We get a fighting style, and we want dueling. When wielding a one-handed melee weapon and no other weapons, we get a +2 on damage when dealing damage with that weapon. Next, we get Divine Smite. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target, in addition to the weapon's damage. The extra damage is 2d8 for a first level spell slot, plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than the first, to a maximum of 5d8. The damage increases by 1d8 if the target is undead or a fiend, to a maximum number of 6d8. And finally, we get our spellcasting. From our Silverquill background, we get Dissonant Whispers and Silvery Barbs added to our spell list, and we start with 2 first-level spell slots, and for Paladin, we are Prepared Caster and can prepare a number of spells equal to our Charisma modifier plus half your Paladin level, rounded down, so 4 to start. Let's take Dissonant Whispers and Silvery Barbs. Paladins have a ton of spells that require concentration, so having these 2 spells is very helpful. For the last 2, take Shield of Faith and Command. Once we start our 3rd level, we realize that we are lacking in our magic power compared to others in the Silverquill College. To remedy that, we will take Bard. At 1st level Bard, we get 1 skill and we want Perception. We get our Bardic Inspiration, allowing us to use our bonus action on our turn to choose 1 creature other than yourself within 60 feet of you who can hear you. That creature gains 1 Bardic Inspiration dice, a d6 to start, and it goes up as we gain levels. Once within the next 10 minutes, the creature can roll the die and add the number rolled to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw it makes. The creature can wait until after it rolls the d20 before deciding to use the Bardic Inspiration die, but must decide before the DM says whether the roll succeeds or fails. Once the Bardic Inspiration die is rolled, it is lost. A creature can have only 1 Bardic Inspiration die at a time, and you can use this feature a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier with a minimum of 1. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Sadly, at this level, we have to drop our shield since we need a free hand to hold our musical instrument, the panpipes, as our Bard spellcasting focus. For a Bard spellcasting, they get known spells. You start with 2 cantrips known and 4 spells known and 1 first level spell slot. Since we are using 2 caster types, there's a section and table about multi-classing different caster types in the player's handbook on pages 164 and 165. For the cantrips known, take Thunderclap if you find yourself surrounded by enemies, and Light since we don't have dark vision. For the 4 spells known, take Charm Person, Detect Magic, Healing Word, and Identify. We have a limited number of spell slots at the moment, so taking spells that can be cast as rituals is very useful. At 4th level, we'll be taking 2nd level of Bard. We get Jack of all trades. You can add half your proficiency bonus rounded down to any ability check that doesn't already include your proficiency bonus. Next is Song of Rest. You can use soothing music or oration to help revitalize your wounded allies during a short rest. If you or any friendly creature who can hear your performance regains hit points at the end of a short rest by spending 1 or more hit dice, each of those creatures regains an extra 1d6 hit points. There's an optional feature, Magical Inspiration. If a creature has a Bardic Inspiration die from you and casts a spell that restores hit points or deals damage, the creature can roll that die and choose a target affected by the spell. Add the number rolled as a bonus to the hit points regained or the damage dealt. The Bardic Inspiration die is then lost. For spells, we get another spell known, 1 first level spell slot and 2 second level spell slots. Since we can't cast 2nd level spells yet, we will use the 2nd level spell slots on upcasting our current spells. Take Thunder Wave for our spell known.
Now, so far at Silverquill College, we found a knack for finding out secrets. At 5th level, we take 3rd level of Bard. We get our Bard at college at this level, and we want to take College of Whispers. First, we get the ability Psychic Blades. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can spend 1 use of your Bardic Inspiration to deal an additional 2d6 psychic damage to that target. You can do so only once per round on your turn. You will be doing a d8 plus 5 with your War Pick, plus 2d6 with Psychic Blades, and another 2d8 with Divine Smite, for a max of 41 damage. Since so much of our damage is coming from things other than our weapons damage dice, fighting with a dagger or club won't really hurt us, and we have Shield of Faith for when we aren't wearing armor. Second, we get Words of Terror. If you speak to a humanoid alone for at least 1 minute, you can attempt to seed paranoia and fear into its mind. At the end of the conversation, the target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, or be frightened of you or another creature of your choice. The target is frightened in this way for 1 hour, until it is attacked or damaged, or until it witnesses its allies being attacked or damaged. If the target succeeds on its saving throw, the target has no hint that you tried to frighten it. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short rest or a long rest. This can be very useful in roleplay situations, which we'll have a lot of in Strixhaven. Third, we get to Expertise 2 skills. Let's go Deception and Persuasion, which will help us with cheating on tests and sucking up to the teachers.
Yep.
Lastly, we get our Spellcasting. From Silverquill, we get Calm Emotions and Darkness added to our spell list. We get another spell known and can be of 2nd level now, and 1 more 2nd level spell slot. Let's take Cloud of Daggers for a nice area of effect and crowd controlling spell. Now that we have a few more spells and spell slots and the Psychic Blades ability, we'll go back to Paladin. At 6th level, we take 3rd level of Paladin. To start off, we get Divine Health, making us immune to disease. And we get our Sacred Oath, and we want Oath of the Ancients. We get 2 Channel Divinity options. Nature's Wrath. You can use your Channel Divinity to invoke primeval forces to ensnare a foe. As an action, you can cause spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet of you, that you can see. The creature must succeed on a Strength or Dexterity saving throw or be restrained. While restrained by the vines, the creature repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. On a success, it frees itself and the vines vanish. Or Turn the Faithless. You can use your Channel Divinity to utter ancient words that are painful for Fae and Fiends to hear. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each Fae or Fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you must make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, that creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. A turn creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its actions, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. If the creature's true form is concealed by an illusion, shape-shifting, or other effect, that form is revealed while it is turned. You must finish a short or long rest before you can use your Channel Divinity again. Now, you're a Fae, and you may have friends at school that are Fae, so be careful when you use this ability.
Definitely.
Now, there's an optional feature here that will help with your number of spell slots called Harness Divine Power. You can expend a use of your Channel Divinity to fuel your spells. As a bonus action, you touch your holy symbol, utter a prayer, and regain 1 expended spell slot, the level of which can be no higher than half your proficiency bonus rounded up. And from our oath, we get 2 spells prepared for free that don't count against the number of spells we can prepare a day, and they are Ensnaring Strike and Speak with Animals. At 7th level, we'll take 4th level Paladin. We finally get an ability boost, and we want to add +2 to Strength, making it 18. We can prepare another spell of 2nd level or lower, and we get 2 3rd level spell slots we can use for upcasting or higher level smites. And we're going to take Branding Smite to help reveal those invisible enemies that might come around.
Yeah. At 8th level, we take 5th level of Paladin. We get extra attack, allowing us to make 2 attacks instead of 1 during our attack action. From Oath of the Ancients, we get 2 spells prepared for free that don't count against the number of spells we can prepare a day, and they are Moonbeam and Misty Step, 2 very helpful spells. At 9th level, we take 6th level of Paladin. We get Aura of Protection. Whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet of you must make a saving throw, the creature gains a bonus to the saving throw equal to your Charisma modifier, a minimum bonus of +1. You must be conscious to grant this bonus. We can prepare another spell, and we get another 3rd level spell slot. Still can't cast 3rd level spells, but they work just as good with smites. For the prepared spell, let's take Lesser Restoration. At 10th level, we'll be taking 7th level of Paladin. From Oath of the Ancients, we get Aura of Warding. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have resistance to damage from spells. We now decide to go back to Bard to help with our spell casting. At 11th level, we take 4th level of Bard, gaining an ability boost, and we use it to make our Charisma 18, improving our spell attack and save DCs. We get another cantrip known, another spell known, and a 4th level spell slot. Like we need a 4th level spell slot since we can't even cast 3rd level spells yet. I guess we'll just have to use it to upcasting those smites. Oh darn. For the cantrip, take Message, and for the spell known, let's take Invisibility. At 12th level, we take 5th level of Bard. Our Bardic Inspiration die improves to a D8, and our Psychic Blade's damage increases to 3d6. We get Font of Inspiration, regain all expended uses of our Bardic Inspiration on a short or long rest. For spells, we can now cast 3rd level spells. From the Silverquill background, we get Beacon of Hope and Daylight added to our spell lists. We get another spell known and another 4th level spell slot. Take Dispel Magic, it's always good to have. 13th level will be 6th level of Bard. We get Counter Charm. As an action, you can start a performance that lasts until the end of your next turn. During that time, you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet of you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed. A creature must be able to hear you to gain this benefit. The performance ends early if you are incapacitated or silenced, or if you voluntarily end it. From College of Whispers, we get Mantle of Whispers. When a humanoid dies within 30 feet of you, you can magically capture its shadow using your reaction. You retain this shadow until you use it or you finish a long rest. You can use the shadow as an action. When you do so, it vanishes, magically transforming into a disguise that appears on you. You now look like the dead person, but healthy and alive. This disguise lasts for 1 hour or till you end it as a bonus action. While you're in the disguise, you gain access to all the information that a humanoid would freely share with a casual acquaintance. Such information includes general details on its background and personal life, but doesn't include secrets. The information is enough that you can pass yourself off as the person by drawing on its memories. Another creature can see through this disguise by succeeding on a Wisdom Insight check contested by your Charisma Deception check. You gain a +5 bonus on your check. Once you capture a shadow with this feature, you can't capture another one with it until you finish a short or long rest. For spells, we get another spell known of 3rd level or lower, another 4th level spell slot, and a 5th level spell slot. Let's take Mass Healing Word for just in case.
14th level is 8th level Paladin because we want a feat that will work really well with Mantle of Whispers. Take the Actor feat. It gives a +1 to Charisma, making it 19, and you gain advantage on Deception and Performance checks to impersonate someone else, and you can mimic the speech of another person or the sounds made by other creatures. You must have heard the person speaking or heard the creature make the sound for at least 1 minute. A successful Wisdom Insight check, contested by your Charisma Deception check, allows a listener to determine that the effect is fake. We can prepare another spell of 3rd level or lower, and we get another 5th level spell slot. Let's take Revivify.
Yeah, that Actor feat works really well with the Mantle of Whispers.
It seems like it, yeah. We will finish up this build with Bard. At 15th level, we take 7th level Bard. From the Silverquill background, we get Compulsion and Confusion added to our spell list. We get another spell known, a 4th level or lower, and a 6th level spell slot. We're going to take Ralifim's Psychic Lance for a 120-foot range attack that on a failed intelligence save deals 7d6 psychic damage, and the creature is incapacitated, or half as much damage, and it isn't incapacitated on a successful save. And at 16th level, we take 8th level Bard. We will take an ability boost. I think this is the first time we've done this. We'll add a +1 to 2 different abilities. Put a +1 on Charisma, making it 20, and +1 on Strength, making it 19. For spells, we get another spell known of 4th level or lower, and we want Dimension Door. And the 17th level will be 9th level Bard. Our Song of Rest ability improves to a D8 in healing. From the Silverquill background, we get Dominate Person and Rary's Telepathic Bond added to our spell list. We get another spell known of 5th level or lower, and a 7th level spell slot. Take Synaptic Static for a great area of effect range spell. An 18th level is 10th level Bard. Our Bardic Inspiration die increases to a D10, and we can expertise 2 skills, Intimidation and Performance. And we get Magical Secrets. We can choose 2 spells from any classes, including this one. A spell you choose must be of a level you can cast, or a cantrip. The chosen spell counts as a Bard spell for you, and are included in the number of spells known. We get another cantrip known, and 2 spells known for Magical Secrets. For the cantrip, take Blade Ward, and for the Magical Secret spells known, take Destructive Wave from the Paladin list. It is one of the best area of effect damage spells, and we won't get it from our Paladin levels. And also Circle of Power, also from the Paladin list, which is a 10-minute concentration spell that gives you and any friendly creatures within 30 feet advantage on saves versus spells and magical effects. Additionally, when these creatures save versus a spell for half damage, they take no damage instead. Now, we already have advantage for ourselves against magic as a satyr, but this helps our friends, and having evasion against any spell that lets us save for half is just amazing.
Right.
Now, 19th level is 11th level Bard. We get another spell known as 6th level or lower, and an 8th level spell slot. Take Mass Suggestion to get a group of people to do exactly what you want them to do.
At 20th level, we take 12th level of Bard. We get an ability booster feat here, and if you are still using your war pick or a magical one, let's take the Piercer feat. You can add a +1 to either strength or dexterity, and we will put it on strength to make it 20. Once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals piercing damage, you can re-roll one of the attack's damage dice, and you must use the new roll. When you score a critical hit that deals piercing damage to a creature, you can roll 1 additional damage die when determining the extra piercing damage the target takes. In our opinion, this is a great character. It has high social skills that you need in Strixhaven, can do some great melee damage and spell damage at higher levels. The only place this build would be considered lacking is in its armor class. We didn't add any magic items to this build, but if you can get some that boost your armor class, that would be great. If you have any questions, comments, or build ideas, please leave them in the comments section below. Next week, we'll be doing the Prismari College student, so look forward to that. And until next time, cheers.